Hello and welcome to Dancing with Parkinsons, Nevada. This is video 9. Make sure you've done the modification video so you understand how to get out of the chair correctly and safely. And always listen to your doctor on how to properly get in and out of your chair. We have Mr. Dean Ballon back with us in the studio. Thanks for being here, Dean.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yes. And Mary, so good to see you.
So good to see you.
honey.
Thank you for having me back.
Yes. So, and John's behind the camera, and we're ready to do our standing combinations for you. So this is somewhat similar to a ballet class. We'll do our pliés, we will do our relevés, and so here we go. I'm going to demonstrate. Mary is going to do the modifications for those who are seated. I lift my wrists up and let my hands float to the top of my chair. I do plie 1 and straighten. You'll see that my knees are tracking directly over my feet. I will do 2 relevés. Rising up, I push down into my chair and lower. I imagine that I have an elevator underneath my heels taking me up slowly and down slowly. I don't want to crash. Remember, you don't want to push into your chair or pull your chair back. You press down into your chair. From there, out of parallel first position, I'm going to reach my right leg back into a lunge. Mary is doing a modification here so she can get a nice stretch in her hip. My arm will go forward. My chest is up. You will not get a good stretch if you're like this. Your heart must be lifted. I will take my chair, push down into my standing leg, and come up to a balanced position. So you'll see that my standing leg is strong, and the other foot I'm balancing, it's lifted. And then I do a little plie, and I change legs. I reach my foot to the back into a lunge, stretching out those calf muscles, so important for our balancing, and I reach that arm forward, heart is lifted, hand on chair, push down to come up and balance, and plie and straighten. Now remember, if for some reason coming from the lunge, you can't shift to one foot. All that you have to do is just put your foot back on the floor, think, find your balance, and lift your foot up. From here, I'm going to step my feet wide into parallel second. We practiced that earlier with Mary. I will do 2 demi-pliés here and 2 relevés here into my rise. I will bring my hand forward, open, arm comes up. I'll turn my head and bend towards Mary, and I'll come up and open. I'm practicing my balance with my eyes. I open, hand comes up, I bend, and I come up and open. From here, I place my hands back on the chair to find my balance, and I rotate my legs to stand in a second position, turned out. 2 pliés here. Press those knees over your feet, 2 relevés. Very good. From here, we're going to imagine there's a river in front of us, and we're going to create waves. You can do the waves with one hand and change, or you can do them with both hands if you feel like you're spot on your balance. If at any point you start to feel a little wobbly, you can place your hand down. From there, I will rotate my legs. We did parallel, I'm sorry. I'm going to bring my feet back into that little V, into my first position. And I will do 2 demi-pliés here, and then 2 relevés. And then I'm going to rotate my feet back to parallel. I'm going to reach my arm forward. We reach out towards the end of the chair, and I'm going to feel a nice stretch in my hamstrings here. I'll drop my head and roll up, take my chair, and find my balance. Now I'll reach the other arm forward, reach out towards me, towards the end of your chair. Some of you might not be able to make it to the end of the chair. Here is fine. Eventually you will. Drop your head and roll up to finish. Deep breath in. Straight. And plie and straighten and plie and straighten. Lovely. 2 releves. Rise up, 2, down, rise up and down. Lunges. Reach that foot back. Foot is in parallel. Reach your arm. Enjoy the stretch. Hand on chair. Push off and balance. And plie and stretch. And going back. And reach. And hand. Come up and balance. And plie. And stretch. Open big. And plie. And slow. We're warming up our legs. And plie. 2 rises. Press down to grow tall. Slow coming down. And up. Find your balance. Release your arm to the middle. Open. Reach. Up. Bend. Come up. Change hands front. Open. Arm comes up. Bend. Up. Open. Take your chair. Rotate your legs. Deep breath in. Let's find our balance here. Place your hands on your chair. And plie 1 and straighten. Again, bend, pressing those knees over your feet. Lovely. 2 releves. Rise. Strong. Lower. With control. Up. With control. River with one hand. Waves. Other hand. Bring your feet together in your little V to go to plie. Straighten. And plie. And straighten. Releve up. And down. One more releve up. Lower. Feet together in parallel. Reach out. Towards the end of your chair, eyes go to the chair. Stretch. Drop your head and roll up. Standing tall. And reach out to the end of your chair. Deep breath in. And rolling up. Little balance here. Up. Open. In. Down. To the front. Open your arm. To finish. Open. And balance. And let's finish in mountain grounding here. Finding our balance enjoying the work that we did in our legs, and rest. So now we're going to practice tendu. You'll see that I turned my chair to the side. Again, my hand is forward from my hip. It's not back here, so I'm twisting, and my chair can support me. We're going to open our arm and place our hand on our hip. We want our elbow forward, not back. Forward, so we can engage our stomach muscles. Now we're going to slide our foot on the floor and point our toes. This is called tendu. Tendu means to stretch, and we'll come back in. This is to help with our balance. Tendu on the inside leg. And let's add a plie. Very good. Now we're going to do 2 tendus with plies in between. 2 stretches, that means. Now we're going to reach out and go to dégagé. Dégagé means to disengage your foot from the floor. It's never higher than your knee, and ideally between your ankle and your knee. You go past to your tendu and plie. Make sure that you're practicing with me. This will help strengthen your legs and help you with your balance. Tendu and plie. We're going to open our feet into a little V. Our first position. Hand is still forward from us. Now we're going to do our tendu to the front in a rotated position and plie. Tendu front and plie. Luscious bending of our knees. Dégagé and plie. Dégagé and plie. Now we're going to go to a tendu position to our side. Side is where your toes are pointing. So you'll see my toes are pointing here. So I'm not going to point my foot here, or I'm not going to point it back there. I'm going to point it directly where my toes are pointing. That will protect our knees. And plie and tendu. Plie, dégagé. Plie, dégagé, plie, and we'll bring our feet back to the parallel position. Let's do that much. So we have tendu, plie, and tendu, and plie. Tendu, and stretch, bend, plie, and tendu, stretch, 2 legs, bend, 2 legs, dégagé, balance, bend, plie, dégagé, very nice, bend. Let's take our time to turn our legs out, stretch. Let's check our balance here, breathing deep, open, and hands on hip. Very good. Going to the front on 1. We'll do tendu, 2, and bend, and stretch, and 2, growing tall, and leg comes off, bend, and dégagé, bend to the side, right where your toes are pointing, tendu, and plie, dégagé, and plie, dégagé, and plie, to mountain grounding. Very nice. In class, what we do is from there, we'll take like 8 counts, and we will turn and go to the other side. But we'll have you practice that one at home, okay? So this is the time where we take a moment and we have a sip of water. Again, I can't remind you enough how important it is to stay hydrated. Remember, we talked about in a previous video about our eyes and our ears and touch helping us with balance. Remember that as you're working with the chair, let it assist you with the balance. Even though it's not a human being, it is a tool to help you work. So eyes, look where you're going, listen to your music, and use your touch to help you with your movement and balance. So now we're going to do PKs. I can't wait to share this exercise with my dance participants in the Dancing with Parkinson's class I teach. Mary knows that in the story, Sleeping Beauty, as you all know, there's that spinning wheel, right?
Yes.
And there's that terrible needle that she pricks her finger on.
Yes.
Aurora.
Aurora.
Aurora, right? Beautiful ballet, beautiful fairy tale. So we know that if we came in contact with a sharp object, we would pull our finger back. It's a prick. Oh my goodness, my finger, right? So you don't want to jab your finger into the needle. In this case, we're going to imagine our toe is our finger. Now, I did my little preparation and Mary's joining me. I'm going to slide my foot on the floor. My foot comes up and I do a little pick and up. Pick and up. These are called PKs. Pick and up. We'll do a plie. We go through our tendu to our dégagé and up and up and up and plie. What we don't want to do is do jab and jab. Terribly hard on our toes, right? This will strengthen our feet and our legs. You'll feel it. It feels wonderful. So we have in our combination and out and two and up, 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 bend other side and out, and up, 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 bend other side. Now, of course, we can do this from our first position, and you may want to practice that at home. You can do it to your side. That requires more balance. Or side. You may want to practice with your chair like so when you go to the side and side until you can get stronger to do it with one hand on the chair. We will also add picking our feet up, marching, standing. Okay, just little marches. Okay. Out and up and up and up and then brush and out and up and out and again and brush tall out and out and bend one more brush breathe and out bend pick your foot up down up down up down up and up bend and finish. Come to mountain grounding. Very good. That was a lot of work for our calf muscle. So you can always stretch your foot back to stretch your calf muscle out. And you can do that with the other leg. And come up in balance. Of course, then we can turn and go to the other side and use the other hand as our supporting hand. PKs. So now we're going to take some of those tap show steps that we did in a previous video, and we're going to play with them in a standing position. You'll see now I'm using my chair that it's diagonally forward from my hip, and it's like my best friend if I had Mary's hand to hold here. And I'm using it for my balance, right? Perfect. So we're going to place our hand on our hip with our elbow forward, and that will help us more with our balance. You have done this many times, so you're good on it. Ball, heel, ball, heel, ball, heel. We're going to add 2 claps here, so we let go and balance. If that is not good for you, just keep one hand and tap your leg, okay? Then we're going to do that to the other side. And 2 claps. Then we're going to do heel step. heel step, and if you can, snap, snap, and heel step, snap, snap. We're going to do our shuffles. Brush out, in, slow, in, and we are just doing slow in the standing position. Slow, slow, 3 and step. Okay, Mary, we'll do 3 and step.
Great.
From here, we're going to step to the side and clap. Step to the side and clap. Again, if you need your balance here, hang on to your chair. And from there, I'm going to practice that turn now with music. I point and look where I want to go. I see Mary there.
Hello.
Hi. There's Mary. So I'm going to dance towards Mary. So you'll see I'm using my chair for balance here as I turn to the other side. Now I know I need to come back to you, so all that I do is turn my head, now my hips, and I'm in perfect alignment to do the dance combination on the other side. So now I want to start on my first side. So I'm going to point and look at Dean, and I'm going to come back here, look at you, and turn. So you ready? Yeah. I'm ready. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
Okay. Ball, heel, ball, heel, clap and clap. Ball, heel, clap. Now heels, heel, step, heel, 2 snaps, snap, snap. Think, heel. Say it with me, snap, snap. Brush out, in, shuffle. 3 times, and step. Brush, in, down. Step, clap, step, clap. Good, let's rest here. Good, now I'm going to point and look. Turn and look. Stepping in time to the music. We go ball, heel, and clap again. Ball, heel. You're doing great. Ball, heel, clap with your heels now. Heel. Big, strong legs and big movement. Big. Oh, let's do snaps and shuffle. 2, out, balancing, good. And step and shuffle. 2, 3, 4, out and step and out, in, in. I'm going to point at Dean, and here we go. Turn. Very good. Beautiful work. So you'll see that Mary is on stage with Dean. I wanted to give them this moment together. After we finish our movement and dancing behind the chair, we also come to a standing position without the chair. Remember, Mary did this adagio in an earlier video where she was seated. So yes, you can join her by doing the adagio in a seated position. Mary, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, follow Mary and make sure you dance.
Start in mountain grounding, standing nice and tall. Take a deep breath. And we're going to reach our hand up to the ceiling. Turn your palm away. Turn your head away from your arm and just press down. Feel that stretch. Bring your hand back up to the sky. You can see your fingers. We're going to float them down like a leaf falling from a tree in the autumn. Take a breath. Let's do the other side. Fingers raise up to the sky. Flip your palm. I'm going to look towards Dean and press my hand down. Reach the hand back up, eyes up to your fingers, and float the fingers down. Maybe it's like falling snow this time. Let's try both hands. Reach them up, nice and tall. Flip our hands away and press down. Feel that strength. Let's lift them up, float the fingers back to the sky, and the fingers will float down. Now I'm going to turn. I'm going to look. I see Dean. I'm going to place my feet towards him. Same movement, we're going to press towards him. Press away. Only once we're grounded, of course. Hands to our heart. And now float the arm gently down. Turning back to you, I'm going to see you. Hello. Place my feet back to you. Take a breath. And let's go the other way. Look away, see something else. Maybe it's a picture on the wall. I'm going to change my feet, place them towards where I'm looking. Press your hand like you're pushing something away from you. Hand back to your heart. And now reach your fingers. Feel that stretch. Float the arm down. And look back to me. Hello. I'm going to place my feet back towards you. Let's just try that with both hands standing nice and tall. Press our hands away. Bring our hands back to our heart. Float them up. Breath. And down. And let's take a bow together. Offer like you're giving me something, I'm giving you something. And thank you for dancing with me today.
We hope you enjoyed this video. We would like to hear from you. Your feedback is important to us. Simply send an email to dancingwithparkinsons.us@gmail.com and we will forward a short survey for you to complete. Since these videos are designed for repeated use, your feedback may change over time. So you are welcome to stay in touch and submit an additional survey if you would like. Upon completing the survey, you will receive an online booklet on how to mix and match these videos to create a 1-hour class. We will also send the guidelines for the improvisation exercises for video 6, Creative Fun for Partners and Friends. We appreciate your time and thoughtful consideration. And remember, to keep on dancing